for joining me again today. Today I am just going to do a makeup look that was requested, and it was just a look that I wore yesterday. I was just feeling like it was kind of cold outside. It's November going towards December, so I just kind of put a look together that I thought would be pretty for that particular day. So I figured I'll go ahead and do that for you today since you requested it. And I am going to be chit-chatting and add the chit-chat and the makeup look together. And it was also requested that I do a soft speaking in my own voice. So I'm going to try to continue talking this way throughout the video vlog. But you know, I tend to forget when I really get into whatever I'm talking about. I'll try not to forget today. And I also received some candy from my daughter. It's the October box for Candy Club. And I'm not going to do an open box to that because the majority of the candy she sent me was mostly gone. Just a few pieces left, so I figured she just wanted us to be able to taste the candy. I think that was it. Or she probably just wanted to get rid of it out the house. And I can tell that it's good because they definitely done ate most of it. And so I'm going to add, all of that into the video. Also, this video, I'm so excited you guys enjoyed my last relaxation vlog where I was talking about my Aunt Bunny, and I got so many comments that tell a story about Aunt Bunny. So yeah, I will talk about that story too. And today's been raining. It is a messed up day today. Like it poured down. I walk to the house in the rain because I left my umbrella. So by the time I got to the house, I was soaking wet. So, and on rainy days, I tend to feel more tired and more relaxed and more mellow out. And today was one of those days I just didn't feel like doing anything. Like I just felt like I just wanted to watch TV, and that was about it. So I watched the first and second episode of The Crown, which I am loving. And I finished watching Wentworth. The last episode just had me, I went to sleep. And I dreamed about the last episode. And I'm just telling you on the last episode, the lady named B, that was the head honcho or whatever you want to call it of the prison yard of the women, she died at the end, and she saw two seahorses, which is one was her and one was the woman that was in the hospital who was basically murdered by a what is she called, the governor of the prison. She ended up becoming a prisoner herself, and she murdered B's girlfriend, and B went outside to confront her, and she had some type of knife or tool, and the lady took it from her and ended up stabbing her, and B was throwing her body into the knife, like literally like committing suicide basically. And I didn't think she was going to die because she's the main character. And she was laid on the ground, she bled out, and she was dying at the same time that her girlfriend basically could not breathe on her own, was on like life support. And basically she was dying too. They were dying at the same time. And then that's when she saw the two seahorses in the sky. And I think that was her first time. Matter of fact, it was her first time being in love with a woman, her first time ever being with a woman, period. And she fell hard. And I think that she just could not live without this woman. Plus, she had nothing to live for. Her husband was murdered. Her daughter was murdered. And she just couldn't see herself living without this woman that she fell so deeply in love with. And she confronted the governor, and the governor killed her. And at the end, I was just like, okay, how am I supposed to watch this episode without B? Like, I'm attached to B. I don't want to see a new face. I don't want to see, like, I can see new people, but I need to keep the main characters in the show, you know? Like, I'm loving B. Like, what? She's dead. And then when they showed that basically, yeah, she was gone, her girlfriend in the hospital, eyes popped open while she, in the middle of dying, popped open, and then it went off. It was like, gone. I was like, what? Oh my God, now B's dead. Her life is gone because she couldn't live without this woman. This woman's still alive. Now wait till that woman finds out that B is dead, and then this woman was a heroin addict, if I'm saying that right. I don't know if I'm saying that right. And I normally don't even speak that name of drug out of my mouth. Like, I never really say it, but it was in the show. And she was an addict, and B helped her kicked it. And oh my God, it's just going to be, I don't know. I don't even know if I can watch season 5 when it come out, because I just love B. I hate when they take the main characters out of. This was a 4-season episode. She was in 4 seasons, and now she's dead. You guys, why I go to bed and wake up from my dreaming about B dying, and in my dream, it just felt so bad. Just felt bad that she died in that. I don't know. I know it was a movie. No, not a movie, but a series and everything. But that bothered me. That really bothered me. I was like, okay, Spirit, you got some serious issues. Because when I can't be attaching myself to these freaking characters and then they gone, like I have a hard time moving on, like what I'm supposed to do. And I sat around today, the whole day, thinking about B. Now that's crazy. Now I know that's crazy. Don't tell me I know it's crazy. It's crazy. But yeah, so anyway. Enough of that chit-chatting. No, just kidding. I'm going to be chit-chatting all the way through the video for you guys. And I want to show you, let's see if I can show you what it came in the box. Like, this is the box. Okay. Can't really show you what's in the box, so I'm going to just kind of, let me dig it out, okay? That's what I'll do. I'll take all 3 cups out. Sit them over here, and then I'll take the piece of candy out that's left. And you know, I literally love receiving the boxes from Candy Club, because I like to see the cards, the names of the candies, because even though there's candies in them, they give them names, you know, like similar candy, they give them a different name. And you know, and oh, there were the cards right there. The cards are at the bottom. I thought that they were in there, so I'm kind of glad I pulled it out. And normally I look at the card, but I didn't look at the card when I realized the candy was gone. Like, look at this. This is the first cup of candy. The majority of it's gone. You can actually look inside and you can see like a space missing. So I'm just going to be quiet on that one. Okay, here go the cards right here. Okay, okay, so it's called Fruity Peachy Penguin Gummies. And they really cute. So cute. I was thinking these were going to taste like licorice. That's what I was thinking. But it says Fruity Peachy. These black and white penguin gummies have a surprising fresh peach flavor and are made with real fruit juice, sure to come and become a favorite. Okay, that's why they gone. My daughter and her children probably got to this and went to work, okay? And I guess she just wanted me to taste it. But look at that, it's so cute. Look at the little penguin. Oh my gosh, it's so cute. I don't know if you can see it or not, but yeah, it's a penguin. Let me check out this fruit juice they talking about. It's real juicy. Okay. So today, you guys, I'm gonna try to put on the why I go out my head, the Pro Longwear Foundation, Longwear. I'm saying it all backwards. I think it's Mac Pro Longwear Foundation. I don't know. I'll put in the description box. But and then I'm gonna do the Estee Lauder around my face because I'm gonna do exactly what I did yesterday. How I came up with the look I came up with yesterday. Now, I'm not good at doing things twice. So, hopefully it come out like it did yesterday. But it will come close to it because I'm using the same products, I guess. But my skin is trying to come back together. I messed it up. But I put that passion fruit juice. That juice was so good. But I had all kind of little friends the next day, all over my face, and they still kind of there. Some of them disappeared, some of them like a little sore, some of them got a little scab on them, but they there. And someone had asked me, can I get some tips on wrinkles? Okay. Let's talk about that. I never imagined when I was younger. You don't think about when you're 28 years old that one day you'll be 50. Oh my God. I did not think about that at all. But when I turned 33, I realized I still look pretty young. Like I did. I look pretty young at 33. You know, I'm 46 now, and people say, "Wow, you can't be 46." Yay, yes, yay, baby. I'm 46 years old. I'm 46. And soon I'll be 50, and I don't have no problem with that. I'm just humble and grateful that I can say, yes, I'm 46. Most women lie about their age. I am not going to ever lie about my age because it is a blessing to be able to say I'm 46 and I'm still here. Well, when I got 33 and I decided that I would wear makeup, I didn't wear makeup until I was 33. That's right, I didn't. I wore the eyeliner, the lip gloss, you know. I don't know, I just never thought, I didn't wear makeup because I didn't feel comfortable with wearing makeup. I felt kind of weird having makeup on my face at that age or just period. That's why I never wore it. But then I had decided that I kind of woke up one day, I want to change my looks a little bit. I want to look a little different. I want to look a little prettier, you know. So I said, try some makeup. So that's when I started experimenting, trying to find the right makeups. But at the time, I couldn't see myself spending money on makeup. And whatever I felt looked good on me, that's what I kind of stuck with. But now as far as like get older and the wrinkles, let me give you number one advice. Don't wash your face in steaming hot water. Wash your face in lukewarm water. And if you're older like me, or maybe you feeling a little weird about your skin, your complexion, not complexion, I'm saying the wrong thing, your skin texture right now. if you can get some hydrogen water, you can go to any type of water store that focus on water. Get hydrogen water and put it in a bowl and put your face down in it, or either put a washcloth in the bowl and then put the washcloth on your face. And do that a few times, and do that for at least 3 to 4 days, and you would immediately probably start to look immediately younger. That is one secret that I personally know. The hydrogen water hydrates the face, and a lot of times we start to get wrinkles because we dehydrated and our face is not hydrated enough. So yeah, keep your face hydrated, and try not to get so stressed out where you're frowning all the time. So I try not to frown too much. I've noticed that those frown wrinkles they stay. And I'm gonna tell you a good thing for the hope in a jar. I have a wrinkle right here. Well, I know what you said. Spirit, there's no damn wrinkle right there. Yes, it is. It's a wrinkle. Like, you gotta really look at it. It's like right here, and I believe that part of that wrinkle is like a part of my frown. When I'm upset, when I'm angry, you can see it comes right here. I know it's right there. I can see it. Like, it's not that physical, right? But I know it's right there. Like, you know how people say, "Oh, you look good," but you notice your own flaws. I know my flaws. I got a wrinkle right there. Okay. Now, I started using Hope in a Jar for that particular wrinkle, the anti-aging, and it started going away within a couple of weeks. I'm going to tell you another thing that makes the face smooth out from wrinkles is that, what is that? Oh my goodness, I can't even think of it right now. I want to say, you know what? I gotta get the name, but I'll put it in the description box, but I can't think of it right now. But you get it from Walgreens, and it's like in a red, coming like a red cup, red tubes. All their products kind of like in that red type tube or cup. I want to say is it Revlon? Neutrogena. Is it Neutrogena? I'm not sure, but I'm gonna find out for you. But it's so good. It's like it says keep your face youthful. Now, I didn't use it all over my face. I just used it in the wrinkle areas like my eyes and stuff like that when I needed it. Because at times I found myself stressed out and I found myself thinking I got more wrinkles than usual. That's when I'll get me some hydrogen water. Or you can, I'll tell you another one. If you can't get hydrogen water, cold water. Cold water. Put it on your face and let your face hydrate, and then make sure you use a moisturizer for your face, because your face has to stay moisturized. That keep you from getting some, more wrinkles too fast. Okay. Someone left a comment and told me, say, whatever you do, don't get Botox. Like, where am I gonna put Botox? My cheeks are already too big, and my face is pretty fat. I don't know. But anyway, I know I'm not going to get no Botox. I can't even afford Botox. No. And I've been tapping on this freaking makeup too long. Let me go ahead and put it on this brush, which is my Sivler Couture brush. And I'm going to just put it on my forehead and come down here like that. And my freaking neighbors are outside again. I'm going to tell you something. When I set up, they wasn't out there. It was just as quiet. But I swear, I feel like they know when I turn that light on right there, I'm filming. They know I'm in here doing something. They come bringing their butts outside. Just kidding. I just feel that way. Oh, look. And this is a bit of honey. That came in a box, too. I love me some bitter honey. Story about my Aunt Bunny. Well, I'm just putting my makeup on. Okay. My grandmother had a whole bunch of boys and 2 girls. Both of them are completely different from each other. My Aunt Gwen was always like tomboyish. And by the time I really got to know my Aunt Bonnie, I never knew her identifying with the females. She always seemed to look like a guy, the way she dressed, the way she looked, the way she walked, the way she talked. She was more of a boy to me. And for some reason, it didn't bother me when I was a kid. I never really questioned it. Now I started to question it later on when I found out that when the talk, the secret, the scandal of the family was my uncle's baby's mom was dating a woman, and the woman was my Aunt Bunny. That's when I realized, okay, what the freak is going on here? And I was young. I was like a little kid. Well, when I saw my Aunt Bunny, it was here and there. I would see her when I went to go visit my grandmother, or when my father would pick me up. And I was always happy to see her. She was so sweet, so nice. She was always hold me. She would always ask me what's going on with me, what's my plans. Even as a little kid, she would ask me what's my goals, what's my plans, what I'm planning on doing next week. You know, and I was a little kid, so she always had me thinking about my life. And when I was a kid, I thought she was awesome because she was a welder. And everybody was like, you know, they didn't understand why Bunny had a job that was basically meant for a man. I think back then at the time that mostly men did welding, women didn't do welding. Well, she was a welder, and it was just like fascinating to me. I thought that was freaking awesome. Related to Bunny more so because her sister was more on the yellow side, and I was the same color basically as Bunny. Bunny was maybe darker, but I identify with her better for some reason because I felt like as a little kid growing up, the first thing I got picked on was my skin color. Constantly, all the time. When I saw my Aunt Bunny and she looked like me, it just made me feel good because she was a very vibrant, energetic, fun, and confident type woman that kind of identified as a boy. And when I was little, people would talk about my Aunt Bunny, and I would hear them say, man, she's sick, something wrong with her, she crazy, she dealing with a woman. I would hear all that stuff like that. When we found out that she was dating, basically I called her was my aunt. And yeah, she was my aunt. I felt like she was my aunt, because her son was my cousin, blood cousin. So now So me and Bunny relationship was more it was just always like I didn't see her a lot, so it was just once in a while I got to see her, and I was just always happy to see her. Now, I never knew when I got older that I would have a experience, getting to know my Aunt Bunny. But I'm gonna tell you from the beginning how I was able to be around my Aunt Bunny more and get to know her. One day, I came home from school. I was 12 years old. Yep. And I was going to be going on 13. When I came home from school, I heard this noise in my mom's house before I even got all the way up the stairs in the hallway. And they were laughing, talking. She had a bunch of company. When I walked in, I was kind of real quiet. And in my mom's house, when you came to the door, it was like a big green door. And when you first walk in, there's a bathroom, and then there's a short dining area for like the kitchen area, and then there's the living room, and that's where everybody was at. And it's real little, but for me it was like a long walk. I didn't want to go past my mom and her company, because when my mom drank, it was going to be some type of drama. No matter what, like whatever I did and she didn't punish me, that was going to be the day. She waited until she was drinking a lot and had an audience. That's why I tell y'all all the time, people need an audience before they can do and say the things they want to do. That was my mom. She always needed an audience. And, I didn't, just because I didn't tell you something chit-chat, but in my mouth, the MAC Pro Longwear Foundation. Just putting it around my face. So, when I came in, I saw everybody sitting there. I said, "Hey, Mom." And she just kind of looked at me. And she was standing up. But on the chair was my mom's twin sister, my uncle, and I'm going to say his name because I don't have a problem with just saying his name. My Uncle Joe. My Uncle Joe, because I want to say my Uncle Joe because I love all my uncles, and I don't want none of them to be identified with people wondering if they ever ran across my story, which uncle I'm talking about. I'm talking about my Uncle Joe. My Uncle Joe was sitting on the couch next to my aunt. And he had, I guess, his female friend with him. And my mom had another friend over there. It was about 6 people in the living room. And I see my aunt, and I said hi to my aunt. And this is one of my favorite aunts, which is my mother's twin sister. This is the one that told on me. Even when there was no evidence that I did something, she would say to my mom, "I'm telling you, she did it. I know she did it, da-da-da-da-da." And you know what? Most times she was right. So, yeah, I just couldn't get away with nothing. Like, for some reason, I couldn't, pull anything over my mother's twin sister. I got away with some things. I never got in trouble. My mother never found out. But my aunt, as soon as she was around, she told my mother what I did. Even if I don't even know how she found out or whatever. My aunt was on me, okay? I had one of those aunts. And then I realized when I got older, later on, she told me that I was one of her favorite nieces, and the reason why she told on me all the time was just to keep me from getting in trouble because I was mischievous. kid, I was always doing something. I always wanted to have fun. Well, my aunt was sitting on the couch next to my Uncle Joe, which Uncle Joe is my mom and her twin sister, little brother. It's like 6 people there, like I said. And now I'm going to use the dark concealer and go ahead and get my eyebrows kind of tidy up. I'm taking a spoolie and I'm just kind of brushing them, making them neat. Well, that particular day, I was excited because I did good at school. I got an A on the test. And if nobody was around, I was going to tell my mother about it. But I avoided her as much as I possibly could when she had company and when she was drinking. And I had a dream the other night, but not a dream, but I woke up and it felt like an epiphany. And God gave me the answers to some things. I don't know why, but I did. It brought me back, way back to that story. And I didn't even know I was going to tell the story of Aunt Bunny, but this story is connected, and you'll see why as I start talking. But the epiphany has nothing to do with my Aunt Bunny, but that particular day, I'm going to tell y'all about that particular day, what I felt if I don't forget about it at the end of this video, or I tell you in another vlog, I don't know. But yeah, I had an epiphany about the truth of that day, you know, and it hit me like a lightning bug. And I was just like, whoa. So that's what really happened. So this is the answer. I finally got it, and it took me all these years, because for years, anyway, I don't want to get into that. I'll tell y'all about that another time. But anyway, I just wanted to tell y'all I had an epiphany the other night. But anyway, about the day that I'm talking about right now. So, I was trying to hurry up and get in the room with my sisters, you know, before my mom even said too much to me. And she called me. And when she called me, I was holding on to my book bag. I was holding on to my book bag like this, and I was like facing this way, and they were behind me. And I was like, yeah. She said, come here. So I kind of turned around, and I went walking to her, and I had my head down. I didn't want to look at my aunt or look at my Uncle Joe. My braid coming to loose, you guys. I need a rubber band. So she looked at me and she said, now, I want you to look at your Uncle Joe, and I want you to apologize to him and my whole family, and I want you to tell everybody today that you're a liar, that you lied. And I looked up, and I looked at my Uncle Joe, and I put my head down. She said, tell everybody right now. Tell everybody that you sorry and that you lied on Uncle Joe. I ain't say nothing. She said, I'm telling you right now, you gonna apologize to him today. And in my mind, I got the beauty blender, and I'm just gonna go ahead and blend that out. And my beauty blender is nice and kind of wet, you know. Don't use a dry beauty blender. I found out that it helps move the makeup around and helps it stick the concealer to your makeup better. So in my mind, I was thinking to myself, I'm gonna tell y'all, why she can't be on my side. Why she got my uncle sitting in his house? That's what I was thinking in my mind. And I can hear her in the background, causing commotion, study yelling at me, and everybody just staring at me. Then I looked up at my aunt. Okay. I could see my aunt looking at me. I wish that when I go back in memory, I wish it wasn't so vivid for me. It's just like I could reach in and touch everything that's in there, like in my memory. It's so vivid, you know? Well, in my mind, I can see my aunt looking at me, and I'm looking at my aunt. And I'm hoping she said, "Stop, Viv. Leave her alone, Viv," you know? And I did. I heard my aunt say, "Okay, Viv, that's enough, Viv." No, 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 calling my aunt name. She gonna tell the truth today. You know she's a liar. She's a liar. So she wasn't gonna listen to my aunt. She said, "Go in the room, put down your book bag, and come back here." Now, I should have went in the room and put down my book bag and came back like my mom said. Nope, I didn't do that. What you think I did? What you think I did? You probably wouldn't even guess it, but I'm gonna tell you what I did. To get to my room, I had to go through the kitchen. And it was a big knife sitting on the counter. I picked up that knife, put down my book bag. I felt like I was going 60 miles an hour. I was running towards him like a bat out of hell. I was gonna cut that bitch up. And then all of a sudden, I felt the wind knock my spirit right out of my soul. I couldn't even breathe. And then when I realized it, I was on the floor. My mom had punched me in my stomach. And she punched me as hard as she could because she knew I was about to cut his ass. And I was on that floor trying to catch my breath, trying to get it back. And I felt kicks. When I was just jumping the subject, when my children were younger and they did something wrong, I put them between my thighs and I would spank their asses, but I would spank them like with my hand on their butt, you know, or pop their hands. I never once in my life thought about, I need to try to break my kids' ribs. I need to kick the hell out of them. I need to beat them down, you know? Well, and that wasn't like the first time. But when I was on that floor and I hear her saying, "Get up, get up," contour around my nose done and I blended in really, really good. And I use the Almond, but I'll make sure that I'll put it in the description box, you know, just in case, you know, you really want to know what it is. But it's not the mahogany because the mahogany is way darker than this one. This might be the chestnut, not sure, but I would definitely make sure it's in the description box. Okay, and I use that dark concealer for my eyebrows and my nose. And that's just to clean up my eyebrows, make them look more neater. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and fill in and do that with my pencil, and it's called Attitude, and it's from Bare Mineral. I know you're saying, come on, Spirit, tell us, keep telling the story. I'm going to tell y'all. You know what? Y'all the best. I love you guys. I love the fact that I get to tell my story, and so many of you are actually really listening and connecting to me. I appreciate that. Okay, but let me get back to where I was at. I was on the floor and she kept saying, get up, get up. And I made up my mind when I was on that floor that if I got the strength to get up off this floor, I'm going to leave. Because while she was doing all that yelling and screaming and kicking me, all I could think about was, instead of knocking the wind out of me, she should have took the knife from me and cut his ass up. That's how I felt. And I had that moment, at that moment, that was the beginning of just no more tolerating my mother's bad behavior. That was the beginning. That was my moment. I was not going to tolerate no more bad behavior from her. And that include everything down to just protecting me as a child, her daughter, not committing mentally and physically abuse towards me, and not making me feel worthless to friends and family every chance she got. You know, that I was not going to tolerate that anymore. And I carried this thing with me when I was a little kid. I loved the ground my mother walked on. Like, till this day, I still love her, you know. But as a young kid, I felt like she was my mom. She had a right to do that. She could do whatever she wanted to me. She's my mom. No one has a right to treat you bad. Your parents, my mom, are the people who are supposed to love and care for us. We are people in little bodies that need guidance as we start to grow up and one day be up on our own, but they do not have the right. It is your divine right to be treated well and to be happy as a child. And I realized that laying on that floor, that all this time, she wasn't deserving of my commitment to her as her daughter. She wasn't deserving. Because you go to the back for your kids. Like, I give you an example. My daughter looked away a lot to me one day. She told me that somebody looked at her the wrong way and said some mean words to her inside of a fast food restaurant. And when she came outside to the car to tell me, I immediately jumped out my car and I was going up there and say, hey, what did you say to my daughter? And how did you talk to my daughter? So I'm going to go ahead and start blending in the concealer. And this is why it's good to make sure your beauty blender is wet, because it helps move the concealer around. And I had to sit for a second because my camera needed to cool down. But yeah, and I had the strength. I got up off that floor and I stood up. I had tears screaming down my face. I wasn't crying because I wasn't a kid that really cried when I was younger. I was the tough one of all my sisters, and when it came to family and stuff, even when my mom, like, when came after me, she came after me hard because she was trying to make me cry, and I wouldn't cry. And I think that's one of the links of why I'm so emotional now, because I'm finally letting out all of the pain that I felt as a child. Now as an adult, it's just coming out. I don't know why, but it is. Well, I looked at my uncle. I'm sitting on the couch. My aunt was standing up, and she was kind of holding her hands together, like, oh God, like hoping my mom just don't continue, jumping on me. And my uncle was looking at me, and he had this smirk on his face. It wasn't a smile, it was a smirk, And my mom looked at me and she said, You're going to apologize and you're going to say you're a liar, or you get out. You get out my house, and I'm not letting you back in. Now, at that age, I was always trying to be on my best behavior when it came to my mom, even though sometimes I didn't even have to do anything. I was going to get in trouble. I still did my best not to get her too worked up, too upset with me, because I always felt like one day she's going to leave me behind or something. I always felt that way. So, and when I was a kid, I always wanted to live with my mom forever. Like, I never thought about running away, dreaming about leaving, what my life was going to be without my family. I didn't think like that. I was doing everything I can to stay with her. I didn't want her to not want me anymore. But at that moment, she put me in a really difficult situation. She was asking me to lie, to tell everybody that I was lying. But me and my mom knew the truth. Me and my mom. And one day I'm going to tell you how me and my mom knew the truth. But it's going to take a minute. I ain't going to be able to do it. I don't know. But me and my mom knew the truth. And she was standing there trying to get me to say that I was lying. Because, see, she loved her mom. And my mom always sucking up to her mom. Because she always craving attention from my mom. Because, I don't know, they got their own story. But as long as I didn't apologize, our family were not accepted in the family. So it was because of me that basically my mom's children got treated bad throughout the whole family because of me. And it was because of what I told. And then my mom was kind of disowned, you know. And at that moment, I had to make a choice. And my choice was, this is it. This is what my grandmother is talking about. My grandmother told me. And one day I'm going to be on my own. And it's going to be soon. And when I walk away, don't look back. Keep going. That's what she said. And when I walked out, she was talking big junk, telling me I wasn't coming back in. That's it. I'm not her daughter no more. And I bet at that moment, my mom thought that I'll be out in the hallway sitting there waiting for her to open up the door for me. When I went out that door, I could hear this door shut behind me. And I walked down the stairs. Second flight. Then the first flight. There was 2 big doors. And I went out the door. I didn't stop. I didn't look around. I didn't hesitate. I just kept moving. And I walked, and I walked, and I walked. And I kept walking. And I remember I had an uncle who lived in Bellsburg, where I used to go visit my dad all the time, so I knew how to get there. And I figured when I got to his house, he'll tell me where my dad is. And everything was going to be cookie and cream. Everything was going to be fine. That's what I thought. And I'll tell you that story one day, too. That didn't happen. But I'm going to bypass all of that because I want to continue telling you about Aunt Bonnie. After some time passed, I was desperate and I was tired. And my father told me my Aunt Bonnie lived in this big house and that she was rich. That's what he told me. But now that I'm older, I don't think she was rich. It was just, she did well for herself. And I found my way to her house. And I told her the situation and what happened. And she said, well, you know, Neat, you could stay here. So she called me Neat. She said, as long as you go to school every day and come straight home, you can stay here. I was so happy I had my own room. She fed me good. She gave me bus fare. She gave me bus fare to make it back and forth to school. And her and my other aunt would talk to me at night. And I felt like we was kind of like a family. And I started feeling happy again. But then one day, I came home and I'm gonna go ahead and put my eyeliner on. Okay, and then I take the pencil, and it's just a regular eyeliner from the local beauty store. It says Kohl Eye Liner. It's Kohl. But I like it because it's so in depth and soft, like it's real black. And then I'm just gonna go over my eyelid. And this next candy, I'm gonna eat one of these and I'll read the card in a second. But it's so cute. It looked like Christmas candy. I think it looked like a little tree. Then it got like green and white at the bottom. But it's gummy. That's good. What does that taste? Tastes familiar. And then I'm going to use the Kat Von D eyeshadow. It's real pretty. I like to use this pencil here. And then I'm just going to go in depth, all in the egg, the whole thing. Now my aunt, like I was saying, one day I came home from school. I didn't know what was going on. I heard like my aunt and her girlfriend arguing. And it was real bad. It was real bad. I didn't know what was going on. And I went in my room to put on my pajamas and get ready so I could start doing my homework. And my aunt came in there to me and she was like, hey, Neat, I'm sorry, but you're not going to be able to stay here no more. And I was thinking like, why? And it was only like a good 4 months. She said, because some things are going on that you're not going to understand. But you need to get in contact with your dad and see if he can help you find somewhere to stay, but you can't stay here. And she said, when you get ready for school in the morning, make sure you take your stuff. You're not going to be able to come back. And I was like, why? Did I do something wrong? And she said, no, we're moving and we can't take you with us. Because my aunt also had a son, which was my cousin, and he was younger than me. And I was scared at the moment. I started feeling fear. And I was like, you sure, Aunt Bunny, you can't take me? You can't take me with you? She's like, no, I can't. You just not going to be able to stay here no more. And I didn't understand. But in my heart, I felt like my mom found out I was staying with her, and my Aunt Bunny maybe put me out because she didn't want no trouble with my mom. That's what I felt at the time. And I never knew, but I was so hurt. I was so disappointed. And I found myself back on the streets, trying to figure out what I was going to do. I went to school that morning, had nowhere to go once I got out of school. But found myself not knowing what I was going to do. Okay, so now after I do that, I take the end of the brush and I kind of like blend it in real good. I'll make sure it's in the description box, okay? But it's by Kat Von D. Okay. Then once I got that color on real good, now this right here I got from, the name is on the back. It's kind of old, you can barely see it, but I think it's called Coffee Shop. I got it from Walgreens. It's a real pretty color. I don't have this now. It's a shame. Maybe like it done broke apart and everything. Maybe 5 years. It's literally gone. You can see the bottom of it. This is one of my favorite eyeshadows. And I'm gonna take, and I'm just gonna go like up in the creases area. And I'm not really trying to cover up any of the red. I'm just gonna kind of make it soften by adding a darker type but light but pretty color. Add it in this little part right here. And just kind of blending it in. So, you know, when I got out of school, I basically went on a hunt again, trying to find my father. And I found myself basically sleeping outside again. And going to school to be humiliated because couldn't take a shower, couldn't take a bath, you know. So I got picked on. Nobody knew my situation at that moment. And that's why I love stuff that smells good. Like, I'm fascinated with smells because just going through that experience, I ended up being fascinated with stuff that smells good. But yeah, let me see what's the next step before I go on. Okay, And then once I got that done, I'm going to go ahead and this pencil is like a burgundy, but it's not. It's like a burgundy brown. But I'm going to go underneath my eyelids with it. Okay. And I need a sharpener because it's all the way down to the end. And so after that, I didn't see my Aunt Bunny no more. I didn't see her no more. And then before I had got, and then like a couple years later, I started hearing that my Aunt Bunny had. Everybody would say, "Did you hear about your Aunt Bunny? Did you hear about your Aunt Bunny?" And I said, "What? What happened? What's going on?" They said, "You know, she got that package. She got that package," which at the time was the AIDS package. And I was like, "What? What?" They was like, "Yeah, she got that package." And then it was just like a few months later after that, I found out that she passed away. She died. And it was like, what the freak? I found out that she died from, she did drugs. Her and her girlfriend. And I didn't know. But it took me back to that moment when she said that they had to move. I found out they were losing everything. And that she was on drugs real bad. And it amazes me that she sent me as her niece back to the streets. She never came to look for me. I've never seen her no more. And then one day I heard she died and she was gone. And that nobody had like money to really bury her. And she was put in the grave without a headstone and everything because she died at a time, and I think a lot of people were struggling. And so one day, come back up now to the future, me and my uncle was talking, and I was telling him about my story about Aunt Bunny and how I got to spend just a little bit of time with her before she died, before I never seen her again. Let me read that candy. It says, Vital Jelly Filled Twist Cones. Fresh strawberry flavor and a unique jelly cone shape. This candy is soft, fruity, and delicious, imported from Spain. It really is. This candy is delicious. It really do taste good. So, my uncle said, Neat, did it bother you that your Aunt Bunny is gay? I'm going to use this by L.A Girl, L.A Colors Mineral Blush. This is what I used yesterday. I'm going to use this soft brush right here. And my uncle said to me, he said, it didn't bother you that your aunt was gay? And I said, no, that didn't bother me. He said, did you ever hear what happened to her? And I said, no. I said, I thought she just naturally was gay. He said, well, when your Aunt Bunny was about 13 years old, Mama and Papa, we all went to the store, and they left Bunny in the car. And when they came back to the car, she was bleeding. She was brutally raped. And then she changed. I never knew that. I just recently found out. And I think that's why I brought it up in the vlog I was talking about, because I just recently found out. Me and my uncle talking. And I said, you know, it explains some things, but it just made me sad that she went through that. Yeah. Some man raped her, brutally raped her. And she had been messed up ever since, as far as like, she just didn't trust men. She didn't want to be with men. She was just hurt, you know. But that's my Aunt's funny story. That's my memories of her. She died young, really young. She was, let me see, I was about, I'm gonna say 15 when she died. And when I saw her, I was about 13 and some change from the last time that I saw her. Yeah, and I think she was, matter of fact, she was older than my dad. So my dad, I would say, I can't really do the math right now, but yeah, she was young. She was young, 15 years older than I was. So when I was about 15, she was about 30, and that's when she passed away. Yeah. So there you go, you guys. I told my aunt funny story, and I hope that you enjoyed it. And let me go ahead and put on my mascara and finish this look for you guys. Okay. I'm missing something. Let me, you know what? Before I put on my mascara, let me go ahead and, because actually, that's the one thing that I forgot is the mascara. I don't even have it in here. I gotta get up and go get it. Freak. And I'm using the Mercier powder, one of the cute little Spirits of Lights. I'm gonna say Spirit of Light. I don't know if she subscribed to me or not, but she has her own little channel. Such a cute girl. She do a little makeup and stuff like that. But she was saying that it's not Mercier because it's French. It's Mercier. Okay. But anyway, she corrected me. So thank you, baby. That's a sweet little thing. But yeah, I'm using the Mercier powder to bake my face. Yeah, and then she was telling me about my eyebrows, how to do it. I saw her little makeup tutorial on eyebrows, which was really nice. She be killing her eyebrows, but you know, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I'm not really into eyebrows like that. I ain't got too much to say about eyebrows because you know, I'm just not an eyebrow person. You know, I just like my eyebrows naturally the way they are, almost not there, just formed and shaped the way they are. That's it. I don't even get arch, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't hardly got no hair. Yes, I really don't care. Just want to make sure I just make them look a little presentable. But I ain't trying to put eyebrows on fleek now. Last time I did that, I felt like I was scared somebody. Because, you know, I like having like a soft look. And I feel like thickening up my eyebrows make me look a little harder and rougher. So that's why I don't like eyebrows for me, okay? Not yet, anyway. Not saying one day I won't do it, just not right now. Just not into it. Okay. Trying to get the top back on. And let me finish out my eyes. Now I got this eyeshadow from MAC. Like, this is freaking gorgeous. I think I even showed it to you in one of my makeup tutorials. I don't remember, but I love this color right here. And let me open it up for you guys. It's sparkly and silver and black. I love that. And I'm just gonna go around here and around here, right here. But let me see. Before I do that, let me do this. I need to get the eyebrow pencil, and I'm gonna go with this coffee shop, and I'm gonna go under my eyes. Now I got my eyes all set. My camera kind of went out on me, so I went and got the mascara. Okay, this blouse is kind of getting on my nerve right now. And then I like the little spoolie because it has the points at the tip, pulls the hairs. Okay, and let me tell you guys before I forget, because I did tell you I would tell you the story about my dream, my epiphany, about that moment that I left my mom's house. Remember when I was saying that I always was doing everything I can not to upset her and get to the point where she'll end up leaving me behind? I was laying on my bed one night. Thought I was dreaming, and my eyes popped open, and I was looking at the ceiling, and I could see all four corners of my room on the ceiling. And it came to me as clear as day that my mom basically set me up. She set me up to leave her house that day. She knew that my uncle was sitting on that couch when I got home, that, I probably would leave. And she put me in a corner, and she set it up where I would finally tell her family that, yeah, I was lying and that everything that I said wasn't true. That way she could be back accepted in the family. And if I didn't, that day was going to be the day that it would be the end of me and her. And God told me and showed me as clear as day that even if I had told the truth, she was going to put me out. My mom was done with me. She made up her mind that that was it. She no longer wanted me in her house, wanted me as responsibility, wanted to take care of me. She was basically done with me. And no matter what I could have done, the outcome wasn't going to be different. Whatever road and path I took, that was going to be the cards that I dealt, And God said, Spirit, you did good. You did good. Because I'm going to tell you, I was going to tell you girls, but I am talking to the girls. I'm going to be honest with you. This is for the ladies, girls. Life is freaking crazy, and you're going to face some difficult things. And some things, you're probably not going to be able to get out the situation, or you may not make the right choice. I don't know. But I'm going to tell you, for me, I left home at 12 and something years old, and I never once prostituted. I never once sold my body. Matter of fact, I valued who I was as a person. If I had nothing else, I had self-value, even as a young girl. And there were some days I went hungry, and I had nowhere to stay. And I could have changed all that if I thought about going a different route. But because I valued myself as a person, that's something that my grandmother installed in me. I'd rather die before I devalue myself as a person. So yeah, I went through some things, maybe harder than it had to be. And you may not see like huge rewards from being so self-valued, but the reward is loving yourself. Love yourself. You can't love no one else if you don't love yourself. Self-love is the greatest reward. So I give myself hugs. And I go back as an adult. When I was a little kid, I remember, might look a little crazy, it sound a little crazy right now, but I remember, I thought it was an angel. Used to come and give me a hug and hold me and tell me that everything was going to be okay. And now, till this day, I go back and I sit and I meditate. And I love myself. I hug her and I tell her that everything's going to be okay. Because that child that was scared and alone and hurt and abused needed to know that. So self-love is important. Okay. I ain't trying to drop no tear. I'm telling y'all. I ain't trying to do it because I ain't trying to mess up this makeup. I'm not trying to hear shoot. Okay. I'm doing good. Because there's no reason to cry. I'm just the emotional person. But I got to come out of that somehow or another. Maybe because I'm getting old, I'm going through something. I'm so emotional. This emotional messing me up. Okay, yeah, so then I take this bronze by Hourglass. Now this is so pretty. And I use this big brush right here. And this is I usually want my MAC foundation powder, finishing powder. I use that, but I don't use it. I have not been using it since I've been using the Laura Mercier. I like this, but you can use it, but I don't know. I feel I don't need all of that because the ear is already so dry by it being cold. I don't want to dry my face out. But yeah, I've been using this big brush right here. It's so pretty. And just the Hourglass is so pretty. And I just kind of go over the edges of my face. Just like this. Okay, then just put... Okay, then after I finish with the Hourglass, I got one more thing to do, but let me tell you about this candy first. This candy right here, it looks like, to me from first hand, it looks like the clothing pins that you hang up clothes. It's got like 2 things at the end, and it's I don't know if you can see it, but that's what it looks like, clothing pins to me. Okay, I don't know if it's sour, but I'm going to take a chance and put one in my mouth because I want to eat one. Okay, all right. First off, it's real sweet. I ain't trying to bite it. I got a strong feeling sour, but I'm going to eat it. It's a Vital Sour Jelly. Clothing pads. I knew that was wrong. Someone with a whimsical, I don't know what that says, whimsical imagination dream up these jelly clothing pad candies shaped like under Kohl's pins. They chewy, sour, fruity, candy, and crunchy. But you know what? It's a good sour. It's a really, really good sour because it's not killing me. I'm not going to cream. All right. I love these. These are pretty good. They're really good. God showed me that was the end of my journey with my mom. That was my transition as a young girl. And that's how it's going to end. It's Alpha by Urban Decay. And there you go, you lights. Thank you so much for watching. And I will see you in the next video. I had a good time with you, and I love you so much. Yeah. Oh, and the new subscribers, thank you. Come on back, subscribe, so you can stay updated with my story time, my candy videos, whatever you can find that you like.